Hi, welcome to the Fashion Clinic, to another podcast. We are a hub for entrepreneurs connecting in the fashion industry. So I'm really happy to have Shao join us tonight, both this morning. um, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? You were an alumni of the Masters of Fashion Entrepreneurship and Innovation course. So you were where I am right now a year ago, and I look forward to hearing your experience.
Yeah, cool. So hi everyone, like good morning, good afternoon, and good evening maybe. So I'm Shao. I'm from Taiwan. So I'm the last cohort from Master of Fashion Entrepreneurship and Innovation. So a little bit of professional background of myself is that before the course and before starting my own business, I was working in apparel retail management for like 5 years in Uniqlo. Yeah. So basically, my whole experience is around store management, logistic, and also inventory control. And after working for 5 years, I was kind of thinking to myself that what is the goal for me working in apparel industry? And also there's this turning point when my mom so she's a breast cancer survivor. So that's kind of like the turning point for me for when I started to think of, I think there's a lot of insufficiency in the apparel industry, especially in lingerie industry. So that's why I want to start a business that could help people that with need or special demand. So that's why I choose to go to our course, not fake course, because I know there will be a lot of resources and for me to learn, and there will be a lot of different cohorts with different backgrounds, and that's actually what happens too. That I meet a lot of great people there, so I'm really glad that I made this decision.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's such an international group of people, and everybody
Exactly.
has different backgrounds. So it's really nice to talk to people, and everybody has their own experiences. So I agree. And then
Exactly.
you also, so you started the year, and then COVID came, and you moved completely online from the classes. So how was that experience? How did you adapt in this situation?
So we have 3 turns. So the first two turns were basically still in person in the classroom, which is a really great experience for sure, because you will have the chance to talk to your group members. You have the chance to talk to your tutors and meet with different kind of in people from the industry. And then I think I would think it in a positive way, because COVID came around the last term. So we only been affected a little bit. So there's a little course that was turning into online courses, which is like a different experience, I have to say. So you will meet all your friends in this little screen. And I feel like, sorry.
You knew their faces, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because we started with the mask. So in the beginning,
right.
all the lessons that we were doing in school were with masks on. So when you finally see people on camera without the mask, you go, wow, it's so nice to see you. It's nice to see who you are.
Yeah, that's a very totally different experience. And I personally felt like there will be less, it's less interactive in a way, but it's still like good, a new way, I have to say, a new way of, learning. And then I started to write my dissertation, which then I think it's, for me, it doesn't really affect that much because there's a lot of resources online, but it's a bit a shame that I can't, physically go to the laboratory or schools to get, because my project is on 3D scanning. So it will be better if I can, try or use the scanner during, the dissertation writing process. So I guess that's kind of like a little thing that I felt not really satisfied, but otherwise I still think the online remote learning is a feasible way of learning.
Yes, I absolutely agree, and it's completely doable and enjoyable. So Definitely. And then how has your life been since the course, since the MAFE course? Where are you now? What have you been up to? We will talk a bit about your project as well in a bit. So
I missed this question. Where are you now? Because that's what teacher asks us all the time when we're in class.
that's true.
Yeah. Yeah. But I have to, I'm really, really glad that I made this decision to go to London, because I have to say, like, it's kind of pushing myself out of this comfort zone, because if you stay in a big corp, you will just, you know, work like 9 to 5 every day, and then you don't really have that much innovation, and then the life becomes a bit boring, I have to say. So when I first came to the MFA course, I really think it's a bit shocking, surprising for me, because there's a lot of things that is different from my education background. So in Asia, we more likely to be one direction. Like your tutor will give you the lessons, the lectures, but there's less, interaction between you and the teacher. But I really like MFA is that everybody has the chance to, speak out. And then we have this, sparkles when everybody kind of shooting their ideas out. And it's really kind of inspiring, because you always learn a lot of things from people with different background, no matter it's like cultural background or business background, like professional background. So I really, really learned a lot. And I always remember that in the beginning of the class that Stacia and Chitra always tell us that we have to do more networking. Mm-hmm. So they kind of want us to go out and talk to like totally strangers in all the networking sessions, the workshop sessions. And that's a bit difficult for me in the beginning, because I consider myself as an introvert, which I don't really, feel comfortable, talking to stranger in a way. But after a while, like you keep practicing and practicing, now I feel like that this is something like that I can do, like talk to people about my business. And actually it's a really good way of, speaking. I will definitely recommend everybody to do that, because the more you talk about your business to everybody, I feel like you can get that organic feedbacks from no matter people you know or people you don't know, because they will have this very sincere, idea when they first know your idea, and then they can give you like more conversations and more information toward that topic. So I think that's like the most thing that I learned from this class.
I absolutely agree with you. I remember we had to, when we were looking for mentors, and we had to email people and look for contacts. It was so intimidating at the beginning. It was really
exactly
pushing myself to write that letter or contact somebody I didn't know. But then once I did, and then most of the people respond, in some way. So you feel so much better, and then you're actually growing your network, and it feels really good to just try it and just go for
exactly
it. Yeah, I think this is one of the greatest lessons that we've learned in this time. I absolutely
exactly. Maybe carry on for the last question about the COVID. I wouldn't say I thanks for COVID, but because of all this, everything's turning, remotely, online, virtual. So actually I find a lot of new opportunity during this period of time, because a lot of, they used to be physical, maybe exhibition or everything, but because of the pandemic, so they all changed it to online session, and then they will give free entrance for everybody who is online, basically. So I really think I was kind of benefit from a lot of these resources, and also I was talking to a lot of people from around the world because of it. So I really do think that this is a new way. It's not a bad way, but a new way of learning and connecting with people.
Yeah, and taking the opportunities that we have right now and really, leverage everything. Yeah,
exactly.
I agree with you. Absolutely. Yeah. So maybe now we can talk a little bit. You've already mentioned a little bit your project, but I would love to know more about it. How it started. Did you develop it while you were on the course, or you had that wish or ideas beforehand? And then tell me a little bit about that.
Cool, no problem. So I'm working on my business now. It's called Cocoon, you know, the cocoon between like caterpillar to butterfly. So the whole idea, as I said before, because my mom was she's a breast cancer survivor. So that's the starting point of all this business idea. And then during the whole MFA course, I was the whole time I was working on 3D scanning technology and also using it in the lingerie industry, because I want to see if there's possibility that we can help to have better bra measurement. So Cocoon is a brand that is a lingerie tech brand that I'm trying to help women find a perfect fit custom bra by using 3D scanning technology. So the goal, kind of like my goal is to help being a part of this force to reshape the lingerie industry to be more sustainable and also inclusive. So the solution that I have, which is also my dissertation topic, is that I want to see how 3D scanning technology can help within this process. So I want to make the breast measurement and bra measurement become more simplified and also more precise and even non-contact. So that's kind of like the whole idea that I've been working on so far.
Amazing. So how does this 3D scanning technology work actually?
In a simple way. So for example, if we are the customer, the scanning process is actually very similar to how we try it on clothes in all the brick and mortar stores. The difference is that you will get your body scan. So it's either radar or maybe laser scanning. There's a couple of them, different ways of doing it, scanners. So the whole process is actually very quick. It's no more than 20 seconds. And we can get like the very precise, high accuracy data of your body, the measurement. So we can use that data to help you make a custom bra that is totally fit to your body. And we can give you the perfect contour. So that's kind of like our ideal goal, like the aim goal of this brand.
Nice. That sounds so amazing, actually.
Thank you.
I love the idea, because then it adds so much versatility and it offers everybody comfort, and we all experience certain problems. So I think that's absolutely amazing. What about, so once the scanning is done, it sends information and then you make a 3D model, or what programs do you use? If I remember correctly, you use Clo.
Yeah, so I have to say that I'm still in the process, like a very early stage. So I'm still experienced, like in the process of trying out if these whole process can work. But I do know that once the scanning data is extracted from the whole scanning measurement, it can be input into like all the digital designing software, for example, Flow or Gerber. So we can have this avatar for which is like a digital double twin for everybody. So the size, the length of your shoulder, the breast, your back is like totally the same as us. So we can design a bra based on that. So you don't have to go on this back and forth trying on and taking off. We can make a really nice pattern based on a real avatar of you, like a digital version of you. So that's kind of like the idea, because I personally find that it's really annoying, trying out bras in stores, because it's a very intimate experience. But once if like the sales assistant trying to intrude into that little fitting room, I felt very nervous.
I agree.
And also it's a bit embarrassing that you have to like try different kinds of sizes, which I never really know like what sizes that I should wear. So I think if we can get this help from technology, it can give us this very precise data that is totally the same as everybody's body, because everybody's body is different. So for example, for my mom, she has asymmetric breasts. So in that case, we can design the bra based on her need. So I really think that this methods could help all the bra wearers, I will say, because everybody have different kind of pain points. For example, if somebody has like bigger shoulders, higher shoulders, or they have relatively smaller under busts. Yeah. So the situation's always different. So I really think that if we can get the very accurate measurement, we can help women to find the perfect fit bra.
I agree. I think it's also kind of cool that you are creating this database of avatars. So when you're shopping, for example, on your website in the future, I don't know if you have a website already, but you choose your name instead of, you know, the bra size or the measurements. It feels so personal also. It feels like, you know, this is made just for me. This is, you know, my bra. And also when you're trying it on, it feels fresh, you know, it doesn't feel like you were, somebody else has tried it on. It feels really, it's made for you.
Exactly. Because I don't know if you have this experience. So because I have like relatively very small underbust, so every time I go to the lingerie store, they will like, oh, I want to try, you know, like the style that I like. And then they were like, sorry, we really don't have your size, but we do have these, like only like 3 of them that I can choose, which always not like my type of thing. Yeah. So I was really like questioning about like, why can't we just make a bra based on everybody's preference, basically? And if happens to be that bra is also like super comfortable, wouldn't that be like perfect?
I absolutely agree. I think that's so. In terms of materials, I know you are looking for some kind of sustainable materials. So what kind of research have you done? What is on the market available? What are the predominant materials used in underwear or specifically in bras? And what direction are you trying to go into?
So traditionally, because bra needs that stretchability and flexibility, so it mostly will have nylon or spandex, which is not, it's like synthetic materials, which is not really what I'm aiming for. Yeah. So after all the case studies that I've done during the course, I found a lot of potential materials that I want to try it out. So first, there will be organic cotton, and also tencel, or even seaweed fabric, which is also one of the products from our alumni, which I think is really perfect. And recently, I just got in touch with this female founder in Taiwan. So she's also doing underwears with deckstock fabric. So she, on her crowdfunding page, I found that there's actually a lot of, you know, deckstock in Taiwan as well. So now I'm hoping that I can work with her so I can find if there are chances that I can use this, you know, leftover fabric that is no more kind of useless for other brands, but I think they are still, you know, gold for us, like a smaller company. And if we can reuse those materials, it will be perfect. So we can reduce the waste after the manufacturing.
Yeah. Have you had any issues, or, you know, what I'm experiencing currently is also how to make an order, because most of the companies or production houses, manufacturers have high minimum order quantities. And, you know, at the beginning, when you're just making some prototypes and you are making a small collection, you don't need such a large number of meters of fabric. So how have you dealt with that? Have you had any issues?
Exactly. So actually, I haven't really been there yet, but I definitely foresee that problem because I've been to Paris, the Fabric Expo last year. So I've been talking to a lot of potential fabric suppliers there. So they always give me this really huge amount of MOQ that I really think that for my business model, it doesn't really fit at all. So my plan now is that I'm trying to I want to talk to like smaller scale fabric manufacturers or factories and suppliers to see if there's chances that we can order based on a smaller amount of fabric. So because I want to do made to order, so I'm thinking that if they are asking us to buy a lot of fabric in the first place, it wouldn't really help. It wouldn't be matching my idea of having this brand, because I really don't want to create that much of waste and in the process. So I think it's really important to talk to all our partners first to see who has the same kind of concept as us, that they kind of believe in us, I guess. So at the moment, I was trying to work on launching my crowdfunding project. So I'm hoping that I want to communicate with all these suppliers, that I will see if there are people also trying to support us, the potential customers that want to support us. So I can show you that we have potential of growing this business. Yeah. So if they can see these results, I feel like it will be more convincing for me to persuade them to help us as well. So finger crossed. Yeah,
it goes also with your vision. I mean, I've done also a lot of research, and there is, the possibility is either find manufacturers who have dead stock and are willing to sell you the leftover fabric. And then there's also an amazing website called Textile Solutions, and they have, I don't know if you know it, but they have an amazing business model where they have companies also with very low minimum order quantities, and at the same time you can, if there's the minimum order quantity is still too high for you, you can enter some kind of a crowdsourcing where different companies order fabric together, and that way you can order just the amount that you need. So I think it's a really smart business model, especially for young startups, who have exactly that problem, who are looking to, make smaller collections at the beginning as they're growing, and it's hard to find the enough materials for it. Yeah,
exactly. I feel like we really have to find the right people in a sense, because there's a lot of startups now, because they kind of identify this problem among all the designers, like solo entrepreneur, because we didn't really want to start that big in a way. So they are also providing all these resources that they will help us to communicate with the suppliers or factories, and then see if we can get like lower MOQ in the beginning. And then we are growing with these factory as well, because if we get more sales, they are also growing as well. So I feel like this it could be a very organic way of, beneficial to both sides. So I'm really hoping to find this right factory to work with.
I agree. Are you looking to be based at the beginning now in Taiwan, or you want to come back to London? And
I will say I want to try first in Taiwan, because that's where I identify the problem is in. So I really want to help women here, because to be honest, I really think that we have less choices here, because all the sizes, the size range is always very limited. And also people has sort of it's not like a very common concept yet here in Taiwan in terms of apparel industry that we have to be sustainable. So I really want to bring that everything I learned and all, this new concept of having clothes back to Taiwan. And I feel like in this way, we can also be following this and then growing our own apparel industry into more sustainable solution.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So what do you feel that have been some challenges that you faced on your path since having the idea, building it? What were some of the hardest parts?
Maybe everything, but yeah, to be honest, because I'm a solo entrepreneur and this is my first time starting my own business, so everything is like brand new for me and everything's challenging. I really enjoyed in the process, but I feel like first is that how to find the right people, as we discussed before, is a very difficult thing that I encounter now, because I want to find designers that share the same vision as me, and also, as I said, the suppliers and the manufacturers who will be willing to help me. And I feel like I'm now building my own network here in Taiwan, because I just got back like 2 months or something. So I'm trying really hard to connect all the people that I know that maybe has the connection with the people who I want to find. Yeah. And also Jenica from one of our cohorts, that she gave some resources and list of names of manufacturers in Taiwan. So now I'm really trying to build this my connection with all these different parts of along the process. I guess sorry.
Go on, please go on.
Yeah, so I think this is the first kind of difficult, and the second will be, as I said, I think sustainable fashion is not as big yet an issue here in Taiwan. We talk a lot about recycling and less plastic, but apparel industry is not really following up that trend yet among the public. So it will be harder for me to talk to even potential investors, because they don't really share that idea of why we should have a sustainable lingerie brand. So a lot of them will think like, oh, isn't it just another lingerie brand? But so I think there will be a lot of space that I have to communicate, trying to tell them the story, like why I will want this brand. And I felt like one day, after all this effort, I felt like one day there will be more and more people that understand. So things could be easier when that happened.
Yeah. Oh, I understand you completely how you feel. It's still, the sustainability in general is a big topic, but at the same time, it's hard to really implement it, and also in a right way. What is sustainability? It's such a broad topic. And I think it means different things to different people, but then also communicating that to your potential investors is also
exactly.
I mean, I've been thinking a lot about my communication skills in the last couple of months, and how to tell a story to really convince somebody, and how to have yourself heard. So yeah, this is quite a challenge.
Exactly. So at the moment, I'm kind of rearrange my plan into different stages. So I think I will start with this having my brand more focusing on inclusivity and also sustainability materials first. So I think that will be a better go-to-market strategy for me, because I want people to know Cocoon first. Yeah. So I want to tell that story. Yeah, like sharing this kind of concept, the sustainable concept, the circular economy to my potential customers. So in this way, I feel like people will gradually understand like what's the importance of now we need to have more sustainable choices. Yeah. And then and also because 3D scanning technology, although it's a very mature developed technology among on the market, but it's not really that commercialized within lingerie industry for sure. And also although people are trying out this technology, but it's still not that commonly seen on the market. So it will take a very long time before I really can launch this business model. So I think there should be stages that I gradually going toward that direction. And among the process, if there's people giving me new advice or feedbacks, I can adjust this business model toward what people really want, instead of that I just jump into that and then working on that without knowing what what's the real demand.
Yeah, I completely understand. I agree with you. It makes sense. You want to introduce your brand so that people start noticing you, people start story, and then slowly as you grow, you bring in new technologies and you know adapt and you. Yeah, I think it makes
exactly
sense. Especially because we are starting out. It feels really intimidating. You have this idea. Bring some positive change, and then you're like, okay, but where do I start? And I think this has been also the point of doing these Fashion Clinic podcasts, is to talk to people, see how they started out, how they approach certain problems, and then we create this kind of a conversation where we can help each other. So yeah, I completely understand your path, and I think I'm trying to go in the same direction, so I understand how you feel. And what was then, if we go a little bit more away from all the challenges to something positive, which was your favorite part of doing this, starting your brand? What was your favorite part?
I would say, because since I was in college, I was always want to have my own business. And now I feel like it's more purposeful, I guess, because I really felt like, so I always remind myself that to think of what is the real purpose of me doing this brand. Because along the process, there's a lot of moments that I will like, why am I doing this? This kind of that I want to give up or something. But whenever that I stop and think of why am I doing this brand, it really gives me the power of, keep on going. So I think that's kind of like the beauty, and also like the daunting place of having to start your business, that you're going, it's like a roller coaster, that sometimes you'll like feel like, now this is the time that I have to start this business, and then the next moment you're like, why am I doing this? Challenging yourself, questioning yourself. But as I said, like the more you talk to people about your dream or your goal or your aim, people really give this, I feel like the whole world is now helping me to fulfill this goal. Yeah, because along the way, there's a lot of friends, classmates, or even like strangers in the beginning. They will give me a lot of resources afterwards, or we keep in touch with them, and they will always share with me a lot of different new resources or new competition that I can go to, or they were like, hey, here's this page that I think this is really similar to what you're doing, maybe take a look at it. So I feel like when you're really focused on that thing that you want to fulfill, like the whole world really will become the power that try to support you as well. So I felt like I really like that, as an entrepreneur. This is like my favorite things among the process.
This is so beautiful. I love what you yeah, it's actually true. Just talking to people and also seeing, because sometimes they can give you ideas. They maybe they explain it in the perspective that they saw your idea, and then it gives you new ideas or new concepts to think about. So yeah, I think it's absolutely amazing. But was there anybody like specific that you turn to if you have any problems or struggles, some mentor that was very important in your development?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a few great mentors along this journey. So I would say Katie is one of them. So she's one of the speaker from the MFA course, to be honest. So the whole story is really interesting, that she gave this, she kind of shared her experience in the course. And then after that course, I was like, okay, I have to talk to her. And then I just, like, can I, take some of your time? And then we just talk, like, because we were based in Flexel, which is a co-working space. So we just, sit in the corner, and then I started to talk about my business, and she's like, you know what? This is amazing. And she gave me a lot of like ideas and information. And now she becomes sort of my consultant. So she will always give me like feedbacks, or when she saw something, something that she think will be useful for me, she will share it with me through LinkedIn and everything. So I'm really, grateful for this. And also from the Cambridge Accelerator, they kind of assigned a mentor for me. And he's more focusing on business and also sustainability, which gives me a lot of help as well. So I feel like there's a lot of people that during this time give me a lot of great ideas and advice that really helped me to, get through all these difficulties.
Nice. So you mentioned the Cambridge Accelerator program. Can you tell me a little bit more of like, how do you apply? How was the experience? How does it look like?
Yeah. So it's an online application. So, and you have to tell them like basically what's your business is like, what's the solution and what's the problems. So it's very similar to our course, like what we are working on. And then the course, the accelerator, I feel like it's sort of like a very big platform for you to know new people, because all the cohorts in the accelerator, they are brands from different stages. Some of them already started their brand for like a couple of years, and some of them are in the early stage, and some of them are like me, that is still more like a business idea stage. So we have this, they call it speed dating kind of session. So you will have chance to talk to different people one-to-one, and then you can share your idea, and then you can ask them questions, because people are all from different backgrounds. So some of the brand is focusing more on sustainable materials. So for me, I can ask them like, oh, I'm looking for maybe tencel or organic cotton. Where can I find these resources? So I feel like it's a really good, a mutual way of communication, that I got a lot of very good ideas during the process. And in the end of this accelerator, we have to give the pitch again, like my fake course. Yeah, so you will be directly pitching to potential investors and also your mentors. So it is also a very good way, because I've been starting to work on my projects 1 year ago. So in this accelerator, when I'm pitching, I really feel like it's kind of a review over my whole journey. Like, am I really growing? And there's a lot of things changed during the process. Like, you will figure out that, oh, there's something that need to be changed because it doesn't really fit to how the market looks like. So I feel like it's also like, it's kind of like a self-assessment for me, so I really, really enjoy being in that accelerator, especially it's like specifically focusing on sustainability. So they give you a lot of solution as well, and you can see what other people are doing. And also I have get in touch with a lot of brand that I think could be my future potential partners, because what they've been doing could be a good add-on on my business. So I feel like that's like the amazing part of being in this accelerator, because like 1+1 is definitely more than 2 in this sense, because you can always get more, like produce more ideas along the way.
Nice. How many companies apply for this program? Well, how many are chosen?
I don't know how many apply, but there were 20 of us, I think. 20 different brands. Yeah.
And how long does it last, the program?
Around 2 months.
2 months.
And it's been, all online.
Yeah. All online. Yeah, this is the challenging part. But yeah, wow, that's amazing. And have you stayed in contact with all these people that you met?
Yeah, some of them I connect them through LinkedIn, and then I was like, oh, I heard about your pitching and I really like your idea. So, can we talk and think if there's potential way that we can collaborate? Yeah. So I really think it's a good connection from this accelerator. And then they also invited our alumni from the accelerator back to give us like different talk. So we can get this chance to know more, even more people from all these sessions.
Amazing. And then you also mentioned a little bit, so when you are building your team now, right? At the moment, I imagine you are on your own, but you are growing your team of people. So you said you are looking also for designers.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, please go.
Yeah, I believe that you saw my linking page because I'm hiring designers now. Yeah. So I have to say, like, for the business part, I'm working on my own now, but I'm kind of remotely co-working with a lot of different people. Like, for example, Fernanda from our cohort, she's helping me with the digital prototyping and patterning. And then also Janica, because she was in the lingerie industry before, so she knows a lot about the industry. So she gives me a lot of resources and information. And also, when I was in the Muffet course, we have international collaborate unit, which I work with students from different departments. And back then, when we can still go to school, we tried the 3D scanner on one of our campus in Mare Street. Yeah. So I actually been using that. So along the way, I have been working with different, very diverse team. So, and they all really give me good feedbacks, and I can see that, the business really growing after working with them. Mm-hmm. So now I want to build a new team based in Asia, I guess. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so I'm really hiring. If anybody will, be interested in, could contact me.
Yes, we will put all your information in the link.
Yeah, that would be great.
Find your right team. I think we went through most of the questions, which is really nice because I prepared a big list, and but it was really, really so interesting to talk to you. I mean,
Thank you.
Stacia told me about your project a couple of months ago, and I said, "Oh, I have to text her. I have to figure out, what she's doing. How is she developing her project?" So it's really been great just talking to you, seeing how also how this course pushes you to think innovatively and bring new technologies. And of course, it's difficult right now to incorporate all these ideas from the start. But like you said earlier, you start with something small and then you slowly grow it. But at the same time, you always know what you want to do next and next and next. So
yeah, like one of my mentor told me that, because I always give him a lot of questions. I was like, how should I do this? How should I do that? And then he's like, you know what? Focusing on maybe one or two things that you think is the most essential at the moment, and then work on that. Yeah. Do not try to, to do everything all in the same time, because you are a solo entrepreneur. It will burn you, because you don't have the much time and effort and strength to do all this thing. So focusing on few of them, and then be transparent in a way. Like, for example, if I started my crowdfunding project, I can introduce my brand to the audience more on focusing on sustainability. But then if I want to grow my business and touring more technology based, I can then tell them that that's our goal, but now we haven't been that big yet. So if you are willing to support us, you can grow with us. You can see what's the process that we grow ourselves step by step toward that, ideal goal of the brand. So now I really not really slow down, but I try to focus on, things that are the most important to me at the moment. And I feel like that way I will feel less anxious in a sense, because I won't push myself too much that I can't control everything. Mm-hmm. So I feel like if you have a clear direction, you can just start from there, and then things will, grow organically.
Yeah, that's a good advice. Do you have anything else that you feel like you have learned the last couple of words? You've already mentioned networking, which I think is such a crucial one. Also, just going there and asking people. But if there's anything you still think that was so vital in your brand growth or idea process? Or did you ever feel like you had any doubts, or like you had an idea and that one day it feels amazing and the next day you're like, oh no, but I'm not sure if this is going to work? How do you deal with those moments?
I get that feeling all the times. Yeah, because I guess that's very normal for all the startups. Yeah. So yeah, and maybe going back to what I just said, like I always remind myself of the purpose of me having this brand, because my brand is really challenging the status quo. So it will definitely be difficult. It's not like a very easy route toward, being a big brand or anything. So there's a lot of time that I really think that wouldn't it be too difficult for me, because I know I have nothing, and I sort of knows nothing because I'm so totally new in the lingerie industry as well. But whenever that kind of negative idea comes to me, I will remind myself that because it's something that I feel like I have to do. It's not like an option now, that this is something that a must do in the apparel industry. It's not like, oh, we can try maybe less sustainable options, just focusing on the profit or the money. Because especially after all this, the pandemic situation, I feel like people definitely rethink of how our lifestyle have been affecting the earth and the environment. So this should be a time for all of us to, really focusing on what is really, important in our life, I guess. So I never really take it as, oh, this could be just an option. I feel like this is something I definitely have to do. I want to give people more options, more sustainable options. So I have to say, like, this whole journey is definitely very challenging, because like every day I was like waking up and like, okay, this is going to be a tough day again. And there's a lot of time when you're trying to reach out to people and there's no replies at all. That happens all the time. But if you can get through them, and I'm sure we can definitely find the right people to work with, because there's a lot of them have the same kind of ideas and vision and mission as us. So just don't give up, and always try to search. Even looking for help is also acceptable as well. Like talk to your friends, talk to your families, or talk to anybody, because they will always be sincerely supporting you and helping you, I guess.
I agree. I absolutely agree. Also, just making a fun of it. Even though it's challenging, you have to have fun and you have to make it an adventure. So yeah, I think this is so beautiful. I really enjoyed talking to you. It was so nice to meet you. I love your idea. I can't wait to see you grow. I hope you succeed in all these goals that you gave yourself and further. So it was really nice to talk to you, and thank you again for your time.
Thank you for having me as well. That I'm really enjoying sharing my experience. So, yeah.
It's important because it is a great course. It is a great experience. And at the same time, it focuses a lot on you. It's about your own personal growth, coming up with ideas, observing the world. What is there lacking? What can you fix? How can you, bring something positive to the fashion industry? So it's really about you and what you can do. And that's why it's important to share it.
Yeah, that's just support each other, and definitely keep in touch. And if you have any questions, you can contact me as well. So if I know, I can definitely help to share all the links I have or connection I have.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.